Well, hello, friends, neighbors. John, your neighbor here, and welcome to my backyard again. I want to talk to you guys about wild turkey. In truth, I talk to you about wild turkey a lot, but I happen to have all three of their entrance or regular expressions, right? The 81, the 101, and rare breed. And while I could have done them blind, if I couldn't have told them apart, I have a problem. Instead, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to talk through each of these because each of them come in at a slightly different price point and I think offer a little bit different bourbon experience. So why don't you pour a little wild turkey? Come on back, join me here in the backyard, and I'll just share my thoughts on the 81, the 101, and rare breed.
3, 4.
Well, thanks for joining me in my backyard. This time I did shoot in front of the apple tree, but the apples aren't ripe, so you can hardly tell. And I thought I would shoot out here because my wife got me this little wooden table, and I thought for my birthday, and I thought that's kind of a fun thing. I could just perch a little whiskey on and talk with you guys. What I need is a bigger yard and a picnic table or something. But let's start with uh, the regular 81. So this is classic wild turkey mash bill. They all have the same mash bill. We're talking, what is that, 75 corn and 13 rye and 12 barley. Boy, I better have got that right. And what's interesting is on the back of each one of these labels, they talk about age. Now this one, 81, talks about, I think it just says 5 to 8 years. And then the 101, man, I can't remember if it also just says 5 and 8. It says 6 to 8. So a little younger here, 5 to 8, 6 to 8. And then the rare breed says it's a combination of 6, 8, and 12. Actually, it's not on the label, but I recently just looked that up. So let's talk first about the 81. In my market, it sits on the shelf now for about 33 bucks Canadian. I got it on sale for 28. So it does go on sale, not super often, but it goes on sale and becomes a very affordable bourbon. Now the kicker is at 81 proof, it's 40.5%. So it is vastly lower than when we get up to the big boy over here. But what does 81 give us nose and palate? It's a very nice nose. I find lots of cinnamon, a little bit of spices, some vanilla, caramel, and already oak. I get good oak. Wild turkey uses number char 4. Char 4. Anyways, it's an alligator char. It's when you really char the barrels and you get that kind of cracked alligator surface. So it's a deep char. This one's possibly the youngest, but it's the lowest ABV. Let's see what the palate's like. Cheers. That is a great sipping bourbon. It is, it's got some spice. It's got a little bit of pepper in there, a little bit of cinnamons, um, good amount of darker unwrapped caramels. Not quite burnt, but that kind of thing. There's even a little bit of nut in here. We're not talking Jim Beam peanut, but there's a little bit of nut oil going on, and it's just like if I was introducing someone to bourbon, I think this would be something I'd consider pouring. Plus, at 40.5%, it's not killing me. It still has some oil, surprisingly, coating the glass, given its low ABV, but it's spicy but not overwhelming, flavorful, not super long in the finish. I will say that's where I'm hoping the other expressions will give me a little bit more to consider and think about and remember. But it's very tasty, and the reason why I haven't had an 81 in a long time. Saw it on sale, and cousin Brad was saying how he's been having it lately and really enjoying it. And I will admit, it is far better than I remember. I remember it being, why would I ever buy 81 when the 101 is so close in price? For me now, I could see it. Easy to share, hold up in a cocktail, you don't want to be overwhelmed. 81's got a place at the table. Okay, now the classic. This is Wild Turkey 101, 50.5%. So we have gone up 10% ABV, which is a significant bump. And for a long time, I could get this almost for the same price, a couple of bucks more than the 81, which probably why I went like 4 years or 5 years without ever buying an 81. Because this 101 is just always a good value. And as the label says, its mix is likely slightly older. But let's see what this gives us, because I will say now in my market, as this is regularly for 33, yeah, I got it on sale. This is regularly for now like 46. Like they are $10 apart for sure, and I can get this on sale, but not as often anymore. So now there is a price difference. So what do I get moving up to 101? You know, it is the impression is spicier. So it's not that I'm getting more cracked pepper, that kind of spice, but I'm getting more throughput on my spice. How do I say that? It's just popping more. So I get a little more slight ginger, get a little more expressive cinnamon, and there is a sweetness that I was getting that I don't remember getting here on the 81. Oh, you know, coming back to it, this is a nice, relaxed dram. It's not hurting me in any way. And this already is a little bit sharper, probably from the higher ABV. Let's give it a go. Cheers. At this point in my bourbon journey, 101 tastes like home. Obviously, I'm not from Kentucky. I'm up here in Alberta, Canada. But 101 and Knob Creek, actually, but has probably been on my shelf more than any other bourbon. It's a repeat buy. I often get it on sale. It's got lots of good kick to it. It is stronger than the 81. Of course, in my journey right now, I can take a little bit of alcohol heat. That's okay. But I will say, if I was pouring these to new bourbon drinkers, I need to verify that. I need to get some new bourbon drinkers around here and try it. But I would hazard a guess that they would like the 81. One of the reasons why I thought that, when I actually bought the 81, which I, again, haven't for years, the fellow at the liquor store, which are always fun to talk to, um, like stopped me. He said, "Oh, you're gonna like that. Oh, it's really good. It's, you know," and he shared all of his experience. And I think this is so much more approachable, and it's very flavorful. This has heat. It is spicier, but leans into that. So with the heat, it gives me a little more rye kick, a little more black pepper, and certainly more oak on the finish. It definitely is oakier and more like lengthened. And so going for this, if you want more hold up in your cocktail, where you just want a little more spice, a little more hug, and just a little more wake up flavor, this is good. Nothing wrong with the 81. But looking for a little more, here you go. So speaking of a little more, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. You know, now we're all the way up to 58.4%, 116.8 proof. You know, I just love the bottle. I've heard they've got a new one, so that's cool. I'll probably love that bottle too. You know, Rare Breed, for sure on their website, mentions 12. So while we've got 5 to 8 and 6 to 8, Rare Breed mentions having some 12-year-old in it just on their website, not on the back of the bottle, which would have been cool. You know, it's not actually, you know, here we've gone 10% higher, right? 40.5, 50.5. We're still in the 50s. It wasn't, if it wasn't 60.5, that would be interesting. So it's significantly more, but not again as much between that. And yet here I've got a $10 difference right now in my market. This is a $20 difference in my market. Sometimes on sale, not as much as it used to be. You used to be able to get this for 46 bucks. That's crazy. That's the price of 101 right now. All right, let's just dig in and see what I can get out of the nose and palate of Rare Breed, you know, following up the ABV here. It's interesting. I'm going to say something that's a little controversial, but I would say this nose, even at its higher ABV, harkens back a little bit more to the 81. I'm getting a little bit more brown sugar, a little bit more relaxed cinnamon, not as spiky as the 101. In these bottles, out here. Yeah, I get more caramel sweetness, a little bit of toffee. No, part of that is I've now had some whiskey and some consideration, and so my palate has definitely changed. Not as fresh as when I started with the 81. A little bit of dark cherry. I don't get a lot of fruits on Wild Turkey. I get other bourbons give me more fruits than wild turkey, but a little bit of dark cherry here. Great nose. Let's get it in the palate. Cheers. Actually, to me, reminds me of a stronger 81. Rich, uh, not quite chocolatey, but dark brown sugars, cinnamon bun, a little bit of that breaded cooked on there, pastry, a little bit of peppering from rye spice. The alcohol heat brings it through. The finish just goes on and on and on. You know, I really, really like Rare Breed. If I could only have one of these bottles, I would go for Rare Breed every time. I'm going to proof it down a bit, right around to the part of the 81, and see if I can get a difference between the two. Okay, I've proofed it down. I didn't do my math well, so actually I think it's still a little hotter than the 81, but it's closer. It's definitely, I would say, upper 40s. So here I've got 81 and Rare Breed, but Rare Breed proof down. Now I'm getting a little bit of sour apple. This one has more rich cinnamon and caramel. 81. Pretty easy drinking after having all of this. Now the Rare Breed, but proof down about to where the 81 is. Well, it's a little bit more. No, there's more spice in there. And the finish is longer. Even proof down. So it's interesting. As I've said, bought more 101 than any other of the wild turkeys up here for sure. I enjoy it. In this sitting, well, if I can afford it, I definitely buy Rare Breed when I can. In this sitting, I would say, you know, if you're new to bourbon, definitely consider 81. You know, I said I got it on sale, 28 bucks Canadian. That's a good deal. And it is a tasty bourbon and kind of gets dissed a lot because of how good and affordable the 101 is. But I would say that is nothing wrong with that. And in this is actually the sharpest, youngest, more vanilla, less caramel, more rye spice, less cinnamon. Very interesting. Very interesting because probably I would have said 101 is the one I have more than, well, it is the one I have more of than any. Well, not really that interesting that my favorite is Rare Breed, and if you can get it and proof it down and enjoy it. It's got more finish and all sorts of good stuff going on. But I am surprised that I am saying right now, if you're new to whiskey, there's nothing wrong with 81. Of course, there's nothing wrong with 101. It's a sweetheart. Thanks for joining me out here in this, as I've said before, humble backyard. Hope it was a good journey for you. And what are your thoughts? And have you done a direct comparison between 101, 81, and Rare Breed? Sure, throw in Master's Keep, but that's going to be phenomenal. I've only had good samples of that, and I love Master's Keep. So good. Russell's Reserve 10. A lot of viewers out there like that. For me, if I'm going to spend that money in my market, it's almost dead on for Rare Breed in terms of price. And I love Rare Breed every time over Russell's. Don't know why, but I just do. But why don't you share some thoughts? Which one do you like? And have you found a spot for 81, or really you've moved on to 101, and who wants to look back at that weak 40%er? Anyways, thanks for joining me. Hope you guys have a fantastic week coming up.